Hi, aloha.
Aloha.
I'm Kimo
And I'm Ipo.
with my wife. Ipo and I have lived here on Kauai for most of our adult lives and here in the Wailua house lots for the last 9 years or so. And just to let you know, Ipo is not very comfortable doing this sort of thing, doing a video and such. So I'm not going to keep her very long. I just wanted to give those of you who are watching this a chance to meet and to see both of us together, because this video concerns the both of us. So with that, I'm just going to let Ipo say a few words before I finish this up on my own.
Aloha. Part of the reason why is because a lot of people know me by various names and stuff, like Mrs. K from the plantation, Auntie Kuipo, Auntie Cheryl, just Ipo, or Anake Ipo, or even the Queen of the Wailua River. But you know, I was raised with my grandma who always said I had a big heart that I will always help and open my heart to everybody. And I have. Over the years, I've helped whoever I could, whenever I could. Now, I never expected to have to ask for help, but at this time, I ask that you would find it in your heart to help my husband and I go through this difficult time that we're going through right now. I would really appreciate it to open your heart and your aloha to help us. Mahalo nui loa.
Okay, so hang on for a second. What else can go wrong? Oh my goodness. Okay. So, I'm going to try and finish this up as quickly as I can. Obviously, I'm going to be reading from a script because my memory isn't as good as it was 20 years ago. Anyway, so Ipa and I, we live alone, and presently our only source of income is our Social Security benefits, and we all know how far that stretches. Up until February of this year, I was also working part-time, and between my work income and our Social Security benefits, Ipo and I lived a simple but comfortable life. I lost my job in February, and from there things seemed to just spiral downwards. Ipo has, first of all, a number of medical issues. She has a pinched nerve in her spine, which makes walking difficult and at times extremely painful. She suffers from COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which requires her to be on oxygen 24/7. She also suffers from atrial fibrillation, which is basically an abnormal heart rhythm or a racing heartbeat. She's been to the emergency room at least 4 times this year and admitted to the hospital twice that I can remember, one time for almost a month. She takes a whole host of medications, and even with our insurance coverage and Medicare, our medical expenses take a healthy chunk out of our monthly income. Our car is in need of repairs and currently is not legal, so we depend on our daughter, one of our nieces, and our neighbors to help us run errands, to get us to doctor's appointments, to take us shopping. Otherwise, I take the bus. Earlier this year, we burned through our savings just to cover our monthly living and medical expenses. And then later on, when I lost my job, we made the fatal mistake of taking out 1 and then 2 and then 3 payday loans. Ooh, was ever that a mistake? They helped us to survive for about 7 months, but have now come back to bite us. And while I am willing and able to go back to work, I'm also the only one available to provide Ipo with the home care and attention that her condition requires. So right now for me, going back to work is simply not an option, even though we know that if I went back to work, it would help ease our financial crisis. During the course of this very difficult and stressful year, we have received help. We got help from the Catholic Charities and from KEO, which is the Kauai Economic Opportunity, for which we were and still are very grateful. Understandably, the assistance that those organizations provide for families can only be used once, and we used up our one chance from both of these organizations. Fortunately, we recently qualified for SNAP benefits, which is the state's supplemental nutrition assistance program, and that has really helped, and for that we have been grateful. So here we are. We are in a hell of a pickle. We have 3 payday loans in default, utilities that are coming past due very soon and on the verge of being turned off, and Ipo's Social Security check is really the only bright spot we got in the near future. It comes in tomorrow, the 3rd of December, but most of that goes towards rent. So not a lot has gone our way this year, but Ipo and I, we've hung in there. Ipo and I have worked hard all of our lives, and never for a second thought that we would find ourselves in such an awkward situation. That being said, excuse me, we have reluctantly decided to set up a GoFundMe page for ourselves. Embarrassing though it might be, in the hopes that with the help and generosity of family and friends and any other kind souls out there, we'll be able to get some financial relief. First and foremost would, of course, be to cover the most pressing of our monthly living expenses coming due, and then, if at all possible, to get rid of those payday loans, because they're what's really killing us right now. Getting rid of those loans would really put Ipo and me back on a much more manageable financial track. So, with your help, I know that we'll be able to get through this difficult time, and when we do, and I'm sure that the operative word here is when we do. Our pledge is to 1, stay away from payday loans, and 2, down the road, we will help in any way we can anyone who finds themselves in a situation similar to the one that we find ourselves in. Right now, we just look forward to seeing a little bit of light at the end of what seems to be a very long and very, very dark tunnel. Hopefully tomorrow. Thanks for watching and listening. Thanking you in advance for your help and your kindness. Much mahalo to you all. God bless you all. Kimoy Nipo.